is a good podcast. Welcome to Mouse Out of Wedlock. This is a good podcast.
Spell ICUP.
I-C-U-P?
Me?
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. I was just spelling iCup.
Hold on, I'm going to crack into this crackberry.
I also need to crack into my crackberry. Oh, God. I'm adjusting.
We've been here for an hour. You didn't adjust yet?
Well, I am adjusting to...
We recorded a full nother podcast.
Yeah,
before.
but that was... So that height was for Minimum Venomum.
Right.
Go check out Minimum Venomum, minimumvenomum.com. And...
Okay.
But now I'm adjusting it to
good.
mouse. Yeah, Bishop
that.
Cider rules. But yeah, this height is for Mouse Out of Wedlock. All right, we are adjusted. Happy 21st birthday!
Hey, our podcast is old enough to drink in podcast years.
Is that how that works?
Yes, sir. We got to crack them in the mic.
Actually, legit, congratulations, boys. Podcasts usually don't make it this far.
Yeah, so
That's
cheers.
insane. Wow.
Cheers to that.
Congrats.
Cheers to that,
Cheers.
boys.
Congrats to us.
In case you aren't watching the video that we don't do for this podcast, we are drinking.
We're
Someday.
drinking. Yeah, I feel like one day we will.
I'm going to make this commitment. By 35, there will be a video version of the show.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will you need help with that?
Yeah, but we can figure it out. It's pretty easy.
Let's talk about that online.
I don't think that would
In
be
the
interesting. we don't have to do that.
What are we drinking, boys?
Crackberry, I guess.
Crackberry from Bishop Cider. This podcast is not sponsored by Bishop Cider, but I wish they were.
Is this a Texas local brand?
Yeah, it's a Texas local brand. They're the ones who have the cidercade in Austin and
Oh.
Houston.
Oh,
We
really?
are also drinking
sick.
TX Blended Whiskey.
Is TX stand for Texas?
That's exactly right. They're based out of Fort Worth.
Who would have guessed?
They bought a golf course
Yeah.
that had been abandoned and turned it into the biggest distillery this side of the Mississippi. Welcome to Mouse Out of Wedlock.
Is that what this is?
Yes,
Uh-oh.
we're finally in, boys.
We're here.
My name is Jake. I'm the only host.
Cool.
The other two people here are my guests.
And we've died.
To my left, we have the one, the only, the individual, the himself, the guy we all know. It's Colt Joyce.
Thank you. Very
And-
glad to be here.
And to my right, we also have Xander.
That's me. I do stuff.
He does.
What's my job here? What's my role?
Didn't we assign this last episode?
Yeah,
What
but
did we
mine was
say?
just puns, and I'm not. When I drink, my puns go out the window.
Oh, you don't have puns? Man, if you don't have puns, what you got?
Nothing. My value is gone.
I don't have anybody to interview this week, so last week's episode was really good.
Yeah, you are a very good interviewer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like, that's something-
very nice of you guys. Thank you for saying that.
And that was something I was going to get to in this episode at some point because we're 21, baby. Woo!
21.
Let's fucking go. We're going to get drunk on 6th Street and throw up and then go walk around and say hi to the guy with the snake and get charged $25 to put a snake on our shoulders and then get offered cocaine. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
So
me too.
that sounds like a story, which I think maybe is what we should do for part of this podcast. First, drinking stories. You guys have any history?
Oh, I have a ton.
Sure.
I'm an alcoholic.
Do you want to go, Xander?
Yeah, maybe Xander should go first because he seems to be getting hit the hardest by this alcohol.
Sure.
What? Me?
You think so?
No, yeah, I am. I'm a lightweight because I don't drink a lot. I drink like once
Fair.
a month.
It sounds healthy. It sounds like what you should be doing.
I just my philosophy is I don't like it that much.
Sure.
And don't do things you don't like that much. But this is hitting two birds with one stone. I get to hang out with my friends. Actually, three birds.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration. 21. Woo!
21.
We're clinking our cans. Okay.
Yeah, very excited.
And I get to hang out with my friends. That's number one. Number two, record a podcast for my artistic endeavors of talking. And three, drinking. So that's three birds with one stone, right? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So my most recent real drinking story that I have, I'm a the most drunk I get is generally on wine.
Really?
When I that's the one that's
Like it just hits you harder than anything else or something?
Well, it's it's subtle and it builds up really well, and I like the vibe of it. I ride that wine wave pretty good. I like that.
That's interesting.
I like the wine wave.
Okay.
I have the most fun on wine. Like the most recent one, I was hanging out with my buddy Trevor. We were driving down to the Alamo, South Lamar, Alamo.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to go see what we were going to see. I forget. It was a movie. Fuck it. And we were going to go see a movie. But because traffic was so late, so bad at the time, we left. We even took into account that traffic would be bad, and we left an hour and a half early.
Okay.
And I was still 20 minutes late. And if you know the Alamo Draft House
They don't
rules,
let you in.
They don't let you in if it's 20 minutes.
No
and even
chance.
if you plead and you cry.
But the trailers are still happening.
That's what I was saying. And I was like, I will go to the back and I will suck your dick right now if you let me into this movie.
I said no.
No. And I
They have
demonstrate.
morals over there. I respect that.
I respect Alamo Draft House for having morals. That didn't happen. But luckily, my friend Crystal was also at that movie theater, and she was getting out of the movie, and she was getting out of a different movie. And I was like, "Hey, you want to just drink at the bar until your roommate at the time, Trevor, gets out?" She's like, "Fuck yeah," because Highball's right there in that same.
Oh
movie.
yeah, we shot a film there.
I love Highball. Highball's sick.
Yeah.
Venue. So
check out With Pleasure, the short film on YouTube. It's linked on my channel. It was shot at Highball.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I have to watch it. I haven't seen that.
you haven't seen it? It's like a weird grindhouse erotic horror film.
That's sick.
I'll send you a link.
Yeah,
I'll put it in the show notes. It's
Thank you.
pretty interesting.
So I'm hanging out at Highball, I was waiting for Crystal to get out of the movie. I knew she was in the movie, but she wasn't going to be out for a bit. So I started drinking wine because they had a special of wine, and I was chugging that down, and it just starts to slowly build. Like wine is like the first like drunk doesn't hit you until like an hour and a half.
I don't think I've ever been wine drunk.
Wine drunk rules. I love wine drunk.
I don't
good.
think I've been in a situation where people are like drinking wine.
Never been to Greece.
No.
No.
You got me.
Yeah.
I've never been to Greece, the place where wine exists.
Wine exists all over. I love that. So I'm throwing back wine.
Yeah.
Because it was like real chip wine.
You slap in the bag?
I'm slapping the bag here.
Yeah, for sure.
You brought your own bag. And pour it in.
We're like, no,
This is
stop.
France.
We're like, oh, stop drinking your own wine. That's my bartender voice.
It's good.
It was accurate. Yeah, it was good.
So I'm drinking wine. It's like it's subtly building up.
Yeah.
And Crystal comes out, and of course I'm going to drink more wine with my friend Crystal because
Of course.
Crystal is a huge wine fanatic. She's on another level with her wine, and her mom.
Okay.
This is a different story we'll get into later. Her
exciting.
mom makes wine.
Oh, that's sick.
And it's
That's actually
great.
cool.
And that's actually a funnier story, but I'm doing this story first.
Good. I like how we build on the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Like a wine drunk.
yeah, we'll wait for
Absolutely.
like an aged wine. This podcast gets better with age.
That's right.
So suddenly my vision starts to get more and more tunneled.
Right.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, people are setting up Christmas decorations. It's July, by the way. People are setting up Christmas decorations. Why are they setting up Christmas
That doesn't
decorations?
seem good.
This doesn't seem good.
Yeah, it seems like a
And
problem.
then enters people in zombie makeup and costumes. Why?
Okay.
Why? I don't understand. And then all of a sudden, Zombie Santa comes in and starts doing karaoke, and everyone's cheering because they're all zombies. And the Zombie Santa's doing some karaoke. And my friend Crystal goes up there and starts singing Alicia Keys. I don't remember anything that happens after that.
Did you get drugged? What
I got apparently some like I don't know, zombie Christmas movie, like indie movie was playing there, and they were doing like a celebration for that movie.
Oh, so this actually happened. You
Yeah.
didn't like just black out.
No, I
Okay.
blacked out when my friend Crystal was singing Alicia Keys.
That's crazy, man.
And the next
insane.
memory I have is I'm riding home with my friend Trevor in the car.
Right.
And he has a CD playing, and it's the Beatles' #1 hits. So I'm gushing and being nostalgic for this. I'm like, this is the greatest album of all time. This #1 hits.
sure.
This is the greatest #1 hits album of all time. The
Absolutely.
Beatles are unparalleled. Have you heard of the Beatles? Have you heard of the Beatles?
Have you heard of this weird British rock band? They're new on the scene.
There's this indie band from Liverpool.
I don't know if you would have heard of them. Abbey Road. Oh.
I haven't. Can you explain it to me?
No, go ahead.
Okay. And that's literally the last thing I really remember from that night. It's
Should I bring back my character from episode 1 where the dead music reviewer?
James Gandolfini, dead music reviewer.
We'll get into their.
That was a character. He wasn't really here.
I actually liked that bit. That
That was a
bit
good
was
bit.
fun. So you were just crying to the Beatles on the way home? That's pretty
I
lit.
was really emotional to the Beatles of all bands.
That's pretty legendary.
Yeah.
Thank you. And what's funny is like Trevor doesn't like party a lot, but he like when he does, like he doesn't, but he'll always be like, my favorite drinking story is still you crying on the way home
That's
to
so
listening
funny.
to the Beatles. I'm like, I'm glad I gave you that memory because
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
I didn't drink at all before I moved to Austin.
Austin does turn someone into.
I know- well,
That's
I was
like
like,
the exact same for me.
Well, I was also like underage, like before I moved to Austin. Like I didn't drink in high school. I was
yeah.
I think I was more like afraid that someone would find out, and I was worried about the consequences.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with the situation if this goes down.
Yeah,
But-
you seem like someone who would like analyze the situation pretty quickly and be like, "That seems fun, but like not really worth it."
It was not worth the risk.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I totally get that. I moved here before I was 21. And
Yeah,
I didn't
moved at
drink when
20
was-
as well.
I didn't want to drink back in my hometown because if I got a charge or something, then I'm trapped there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my feeling exactly as well.
And Austin just like has a big drinking culture.
It really does.
Yeah. It opened the door for me when I became 21 and I could just like it really made me see a whole new city. Like I really enjoyed living here from like 18 to 20 thinking like, "Oh, cool, college stuff."
Man,
as soon as I was able to drink, you can do anything in this city.
Austin's got like an alcoholic culture almost.
does.
Like,
Oh, yeah, for
100%.
sure.
I don't fuck around with it very much. Like I don't like going to bars or anything in Austin. Like I'll drink it at like a house party or with friends, but like I do not go out. It's like the people that are just out drinking in Austin, like I don't want to be around them.
Yeah.
Ever.
For me, I think it was the opposite. I drank more outside of Austin.
Oh really?
Yeah, in college for sure, up in Denton, Texas,
Sure.
going to University of North Texas.
I didn't
where-
drink at all in college. Well, I mean the 2 years I was there, but
Yeah.
it was computer science.
They say the back 2 years are the heavy drinking years.
I guess when you
Yeah.
give up.
When you give up. I had an alcohol beverage tasting class.
That's crazy.
It was fucking sick.
What kind of beverage?
All of it.
You paid
cool.
money
Like,
to drink alcohol
Yeah.
at college?
Yeah, it was sick.
That's-
Well, it was
that's
because
wild, man.
because it was it was a part of extracurricular, not extracurricular, but like just like class you take
An
that is-
elective.
yeah, elective. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it was great. It was actually one of the hardest classes I've ever had because
Really?
it was a lot of memorization. Because they would be like
You're doing like wine tasting or what?
wine tasting and wine regions. You would have to know your wine regions. So they're like it had a
It's like
benefit.
sommelier class. Almost.
Yeah, it was sick. But we did wine, we did beer, and we did liquor.
Very
And
fascinating.
the beer part was the funnest because they would actually have like beer representatives come in and just sell us beer for class. And like we would have tasting cups for these classes, and they were real tiny so that we wouldn't get drunk.
Sure.
But anytime they brought like a beer representative into the classroom, they brought their own sample cups that were like 3 times the size so that we could get a little more drunk. So we would always be like, yes, beer guy.
That's insane,
The
honestly.
beer guy would come, give us beer, and then we would all go to the bar, Cool Beans, that was just down the road and get drunk. Because the class would be at 4 p.m. and we would go just get drunk at Cool Beans.
And this is why I feel like we shouldn't have absolved Xander's student debt. Honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. You paid for all of that, you ding dong.
Yeah, I don't think we should have paid for that. I think like the hardworking Americans like that are their tax money is going to pay for Xander's student loans for drinking alcohol. I think
Thank
that
you.
shouldn't happen.
Thank you very much. This is what you paid for me to be on a podcast much more easily.
That's interesting. What is the thing that I did in college that the U.S. taxpayer paid for that is the least valuable thing that could have happened?
Improv, giggle pants.
Gigglepants is
It's
probably
definitely that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
100% that.
Although, yeah, I think their stuff like they didn't get any money from the school. All of those.
What is up with Gigglepants? I think I like hit them up to like do stuff for Colt Town TV, and like there was no communication from them.
Yeah, Gigglepants. It's UT's short form improv troupe. They've been around for like 20 years. There's
Yeah.
like one famous person who came from them. His name is John Cozart. He's a YouTube guy. He does like Disney YouTube stuff.
What's his channel called? Do you know?
Probably his name. I don't really know him. I know other people who know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a short form improv. It's not actually funded by the school. The U.S. taxpayer did not give me any money to do that. We had to raise our own
quick,
funds.
not a character.
Copy
you.
that.
I remember we had to do this. We went to a middle school of like 1,400 kids, went to their huge auditorium in front of all of
So
them. And we
you
did
were
improv
you
for
were
them.
part of Gigglepants.
Yeah.
Was Gigglepants like one troupe for the entire school, or was there kind of like was it like a class that people would go perform as?
Totally
or?
extracurricular, just like a club outside of the classes. There were 3 improv troupes on UT's campus.
Was it just theater kids? Because there was a
Mostly.
yeah, it was like weirdly exclusive at Kansas State, which like doesn't make any sense.
I didn't
But-
like feel it. I didn't feel it as exclusive
Sure.
in that like I got in my first time auditioning, which was
see.
my senior year.
Well, you had a lot of theater background at that point too, dude.
Well, only high school.
That's a lot. I mean,
but yeah, it was a
going to
lot.
college.
3 years of not doing it at all, and then just courage and a little bit of TX whiskey in my system.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you would go to a middle school, you say?
We did once. We went to a middle school of like 1,400 kids who, if I remember correctly, were not feeling it all that well.
Really?
And we did like a 30-minute set on this huge auditorium.
30 minutes of short form is crazy.
Oh, yeah. But we made some money.
long.
We made good money for it. We got new shirts.
Very exciting.
One time,
Go ahead.
I wish I hadn't started this story.
You're already
It's
dead.
too late now.
Okay. I can't tell a story on the podcast.
You're gonna do it.
Okay.
You can just make up bullshit.
Okay. One time.
At this moment of time, you have the opportunity to change what the story is to anything you want. And there's absolutely no way we could know.
Great. So here's a great story about drinking that I have.
Okay.
Okay. One time I was in college and I was sad.
Okay.
I was sad because my girlfriend at the time, who I thought that I was like totally in love with,
You thought you were going to marry her. And
for
have
sure,
kids and stuff.
just knew it. I'd
for
known
sure.
her for years. We finally started dating.
Yeah. We're going to grow old together.
Yeah, exactly. Just perfect girl. I can't believe how lucky I am that she likes me as well. Well, she broke up with me.
Shit.
And I was sad. So I was like, all right, I'm going to be sad. Let's drink a little bit. I went home to East Texas. Do you know what's the Knob Creek?
Oh, yeah.
There's
Good
just like
whiskey.
it's so strong. I was doing
It is strong.
I was
Knob
doing
Creek, real quick, is a whiskey.
Thank you, Xander,
Yes.
for your class. You did take it.
I took that class just to be able to explain what.
And now he's taking money out of the pockets of hardworking American.
And I'm proud of it. Fuck you.
This information brought to you by you. Thank you. We were doing double shots of it because I was still residually sad.
Right.
Then I had done enough. We killed like an entire bottle of it, and I cried. I cried so hard on the floor of the ground. It was the first time that I opened up and cried about this breakup, and my dad was like big spooning me on the ground. We were both just so drunk, and I was just crying my
That's
eyes out for
honestly,
like
really
a
sweet.
half hour, and I felt so much better afterward.
Yeah.
And then smash cut to anytime after that, my dad does not fail to mention that event in front of other people anytime he can.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
That
You remember
is-
that time you were crying on the floor, boy?
That's a real asshole.
And
Move.
you
Yeah.
told him, like, hey, fuck you. Don't, like, this was a personal moment between the two of us. Like,
Damn.
it's not, like, private, but it would, like, you don't have to be an asshole.
Oh,
about
well,
it.
mostly in an attempt to get back at him. I just don't talk to him as much anymore.
You got him. High five. I have
Oh,
a similar
God.
story. I was really sad because I was also in Gigglepants. I was really sad, and
You were?
yeah, and I went
You didn't go to UT?
shut the fuck up. And I went to the doctor. And I was
Okay.
really sad. I was like, doctor, I'm sad. I don't know what to do with my life.
Right.
And the doctor says, hey, there's a short form improv troupe you should check out called Gigglepants.
Right.
And I said, but doc, I'm in Gigglepants.
That's insane.
That's very good.
Xander's gone.
Oh boy, whiskey rules.
No, that's a good. I love
like-
that format.
That's a good joke format.
Yeah.
That's a great joke format. I like joke formats.
So I didn't start drinking until I got involved with the film culture.
Yeah. That'll do it.
There was this, honestly, yes. And also the drug culture in the film world is insane.
A lot of cocaine.
Lots of cocaine. I do not fuck with the cocaine, especially in Austin. There's too much fentanyl.
Either.
Too much fentanyl in town. We would drink 151 back before that was taken off of shelves.
I'm not.
That was, my
I'm
introduction.
not familiar. What's 151?
Let me
It's
use
rum.
the computer to bring it up for you.
Do you need me to log back in, bro?
No, guess who brought a computer today?
You didn't. It's my computer.
It was Colt who brought a computer.
Yeah.
Oh man.
151 is a rum by Bacardi.
Oh,
It's
I know that one.
151
Yeah, yeah.
proof, which is 75% alcohol.
Jesus fuck.
75 and a
They
half.
released that?
I don't think you can find it now.
Yeah, it's discontinued.
I legitimately don't think you can buy it anymore. It was wild.
Yes,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be drinking it, but if you're real, you're real hurt, you can just take a swig. You'll be fine.
It was insane. We would go through bottles of that stuff. We were super young and I don't know.
When you're young, you're dumb.
I don't really understand.
You're still young.
We shouldn't have
by the way.
survived that, but we did.
Looks like you can't buy it in Texas, but there are other places in the
really?
country you can buy it. Maybe.
That's interesting.
See, y'all didn't do this. Y'all didn't grow up in this point. You were young. I don't know,
Okay.
man. I got a little burp, and
He's
I'm
30 years
I'm starting to sound like Alex Jones here. Okay, so when I was a little younger, when I was a freshman in college, there was a certain canned beverage you could buy. It was
Four Loko?
Yeah, it was called Four Loko, and that
Yeah.
was before the neutered Four Loko of today.
Right.
Neutered by the government, of
Before
course.
they took the caffeine out.
Yeah, before they took the caffeine out, which is, I just want to say that's a real bad move by the government. You should be able to let the teens drink what they want, get caffeinated what they want.
Right.
And I just really appreciate.
What about the heart attacks, Alex?
Of course, the heart attacks are just government BS. Heart attacks are just flies flown down by the government and injecting something into your a little cyanide into your system to make you die. It's not real. Anyone who's ever died of a heart attack is actually just a real.
They're like a psyop.
Yeah, there's just a psyop. There's
Yeah.
someone who's been working for the government.
There's-
There's somebody who's working
Yeah.
with the CIA.
I think that's a slur that you just said.
Yeah, that's why I just
Is that true?
Yeah.
yeah, I just jumped over that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're
Is that true?
yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So that
I'm gonna go ahead and Google that just so I don't avoid the problem in the future.
What do you think that means? What do you think
It's
that
good you
means?
said that.
I thought it meant somebody who was like government brained.
It does mean that, but it also means something else.
I think it also is a racial slur.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Okay. A ghost, and number 2 is a spy. Is it offensive to ghosts?
Yes. Okay, so we're moving on.
It is also a racial slur.
It is a racial slur. The internet is going to say that, of course, because the internet is, of course.
It is. Yikes.
You better bleep
I'll
that.
censor it. You
Yeah,
get
we're
it.
sli-
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna
Jake
start.
did not do that on purpose.
Okay, so that's what what were we saying?
I don't know. Alex, you think we should have Four Loko anymore?
Oh yeah. So when I was a freshman in college, Four Loko was at its peak. It was pretty big, and
Right.
I drank a lot of Four Loko with the boys, and we had a lot of fun. And only 2 of us had heart attacks. I had one, but we're fine now.
Right.
And I just want to say that, of course, the heart attack is something done by the government.
I understand.
I can't get out of this. I found the Alex Jones hook, and I can't get out of it
This
anymore.
is not only the best Alex Jones impression I've ever heard, but also definitely the best voice you've ever done.
Thank you very much. I'm really proud of this one. I don't know where. I just need to get 2 whiskey shots in, an entire can of Dos Equis,
Right.
like not even a
Tall boy.
a tall boy of Dos Equis,
Yeah.
a Bishop cider, and I could do an Alex Jones.
I mean, it's right there.
It's right there the entire time. It's really easy to get.
What's going on with him right now? Isn't he got he lost one lawsuit. He's about to lose a couple more.
Yeah.
About Sandy Hook.
Yeah, so he says I'm real controversial in that he said it was made up.
Yeah.
These children died for no reason.
It was a psyop.
It was a psyop. Those kids didn't actually die. What a fucking.
The parents are lying.
You know what? I think
Government
Alex
agent.
Jones is a psyop. Yeah.
Do you actually think that?
No, I don't.
I don't actually think
No,
that either.
I
That's
think
a discussion that like Chapo was having a couple weeks
interesting.
ago. Yeah.
Really. I don't think that I don't listen to enough Chapo to like have too strong.
I like
of a-
Chapo a lot.
I enjoy them
Yeah.
for sure. I haven't like really
Chapo
done-
Trap House, the podcast,
Yeah.
is what I'm
Yeah.
referring to. They were on Hassan's podcast a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
and they
I've
were-
been meaning to watch.
Yeah,
like
they were
listen to that one.
discussing. That was one of the topics that came up. It was like, is Alex Jones a psyop? Which I don't think he is. I think he's just kind of like following the money.
Yeah,
He's a grifter for sure.
I think like that gets into the topic. I'm getting a little inebriated here.
Not enough. Here we
Let's
go.
talk about
boys.
politics after we do another shot.
Let's do another shot. But while I start
Hey,
talking
wait,
about
before we go on.
Ooh, that was
that,
nice.
that was sexy.
Very quickly,
I'm gonna-
I had something I wanted to bring up on the show, and I
Yeah.
texted Xander about this. The Kiwi Farms topic I would like to bring up. There is a very popular leftist political streamer, a trans woman named Keffels. That's her,
I like her stuff.
online name. But she's been doxxed multiple times, had to flee the country. She lived in, I think, Great
I
Britain.
thought it was Ireland.
I'm not sure. She's fled to Europe because she's been doxxed multiple times by a right-wing hate site called Kiwi Farms. So currently there's a campaign to drop Kiwi Farms, which is like a call for Cloudflare, which is a DDoS protection site.
Mm-hmm.
Not site. It's a DDoS protection service
Yeah.
that protects websites from
Platform.
Yes. There's a current campaign to separate Kiwi Farms from Cloudflare. So if you're interested in that, maybe hit up my Twitter and get involved with that.
And, like
Good cause.
something to kind of really reemphasize on
Sure.
that is not only are they responsible for that, which
Christchurch is
they cause
directly
Christchurch.
involved with Kiwi Farms.
and like are very directly involved with the suicide of 3 trans women.
Yeah.
At least. So yeah, they're responsible for the death of 3 trans women, which is
I mean, the guy that like runs it, Joshua Moon, his like company that he ran it under was like, it was called Final Solutions LLC, which is like, okay.
That's pretty on the nose.
It's pretty on the nose.
He was also like a major part of 8chan, which is God.
It's all
8chan is-
it's all like a clusterfuck of like terrible people online. But
like 100 years from now, 8chan is going to be remembered as like one of the darkest.
well, that's the end of the Kiwi Farms segment, I guess.
We're gonna take shots here.
Fuck Kiwi Farms. Let's drink another shot. Here we go.
It's gonna send me over.
You think?
Here we go.
Point. Here we go.
Was that a better size?
You did. You picked a good whiskey too.
Yeah, very shootable.
Yeah, I was thinking about bringing Bullet, which
It is
would
very shootable.
be much harsher on the palate.
Colt, did you tell a drunk story yet?
I don't think so.
Let's talk about your youth. Let's talk about a point where you drank so much something happened.
I honestly like don't really have like a huge drinking history because I didn't drink at all in high school.
Have you ever blacked out?
No, I've never blacked out.
We're gonna change that.
I've thrown up a couple times, but I don't really have a great story.
Nothing crazy happened
No.
as a
There's
result of
fine. I
your
have a
drinking?
lot of them.
Really,
Not a lot, but definitely more.
I don't feel like this is maybe potentially interesting. I don't feel like I don't feel like I change very much when I'm inebriated at all.
I understand that.
Xander's just stuck in Alex Jones' voice. I don't change. I don't change at all.
I don't change it at all.
It like has to be a lot of alcohol before I like start changing the way that I think.
I don't think I ever there's never like a point that like it flips and I'm like out of control. In some ways, like I almost wish there was like to escape my brain for a couple of hours would be awesome. But
this is how I feel about
I don't
psychedelics.
feel like I can ever get there.
Like anytime I do like mushrooms, or
I'm not
acid or
trying to get
anything.
there. I want to clarify. I'm not like fucking myself up to like try to get out of my brain all the time, but I've never been able to do it.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Escapism. That's why a lot of people do it. I find myself that same way on psychedelics. Is like I am just me, and now I'm just over analyzing everything. I don't feel like I've escaped and broken through. Instead, I'm just like, how often are these people jumping to this music?
In some ways, I'm like disturbed by people that are like way different when they're drunk because I'm like, what are you pretending to be when you're sober? Because like I mean,
because the filters fall.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys are the same. Obviously, like maybe you get a little bit more rowdy, or you drop into an Alex Jones voice for a couple hours.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, but like there's some people that like completely.
Is your hair coming off right now?
Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you been Alex Jones this whole time?
I'm Xander Jones. I don't know what's going on right now.
He's hyped up on the alpha brain.
I need you to buy some of my pills.
Yeah. Have you seen the before that? There's just like you please
I'm
pull
on
this
it.
up.
I'm
Please
on it.
pull this up. There was a promotional
so funny.
there was a promotional photo that Alex Jones released when he was trying to like shill all of his like weird supplement shit.
It's legitimate.
Yeah, but like the before and after was just him and then him again, and the after photo was just like he was bright red. Oh, here's the photo. Yeah, he looks exactly the fucking same, but he's bright. He's like tomato red. It
What
looks
are
like
you
he has a
talking
sunburn.
And the thing is, this photo is darker, but he is brighter.
I don't
I
understand
don't know
how
what
that
you're
happened.
talking about. If you see the left photo, he's a little flappier. The right one, clearly my stomach has been.
Whose stomach?
Really not.
My
He's just
stomach.
he's grown out his hair another 45 days. Is what's happened in those
I know
two
what you're
photos.
talking about. I have a very healthy family life.
Alex Jones has weird
sure.
nipples.
Alex Jones has
While
weird
we're
nipples.
looking at the computer, I think it's time that we take a step into our next segment.
No, we're not doing that.
Are we doing state your opinion?
This is called State Your Opinion.
Okay.
God damn it.
Welcome to it.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and do a little spin.
Oh, we're doing a spin here.
Wow.
We're doing the actual
This
spin.
is what it looks like.
You've
on
just
the
done it on
computer.
mobile so far, so this is like a really big upgrade, honestly.
Here we go.
Make sure the volume's all the way up.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if the volume works on that computer.
Well,
I've
here we
been having
go.
Some real issues
Let's
with the audio.
spin that
We're spinning
wheel.
the wheel, yo.
What's gonna happen if we land on the same state we've already done?
We have to talk about it and we don't lose one.
That's fucked up.
Oh, God, no.
Oklahoma!
All right, reroll. We're not doing Oklahoma.
Sorry, we have
Why?
We're
to.
not doing Oklahoma.
We
Why
land.
not?
Wait, you're from Kansas and you like Oklahoma?
No, I fucking hate Oklahoma.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
our
the
main rival.
Well, that's what we
sports.
talk about. Let's hate on it for a minute.
Sure.
Oklahoma. First off, I think they're okay.
They're like
You
the
son
most.
of a bitch.
Thank you. Thank
They're
you
the
so
most
much.
ass backwards like state in the country for like every political thing ever.
Yeah.
They have medical weed.
I mean, other than that, yes,
Well, okay, let's be real. They have medical weed just so they could prey on Texas.
that's absolutely true.
Mhm.
and
that
it's
is
smart.
100%
Like
true.
Oklahoma's entire economy is based on what does Texas not have?
And the answer is weed.
gambling and weed. They've got gambling too.
That is the answer. That's why there's a WinStar on the border. Literally on the border.
It's the third exit from the border. And it is the biggest casino in the nation. And it is 3 miles away from Texas.
And we're stepping on a character real quick. I think we hit Oklahoma. Like, I think one of the things about Oklahoma that I always find fascinating in conversations is that I feel like it comes a lot from a place of privilege to hate on it.
Really? I'm from Kansas. I mean, I feel like I hit on Oklahoma pretty safely.
Well, so the thing is it's this area that geographically and geologically is kind of like really like rough and rugged. And we purposely built this area. Like we have this area. It's like, no one's going to live here. And then we force all the Native Americans in the United States to like go there.
I mean, there's a lot of like reservations in Kansas too. I'd say it's similar.
But like Kansas has, at least compared to, a lot more farmable land. Like, I hate on Oklahoma, but a part of me is like, I kind of feel bad at hating Oklahoma because, like, we force everybody, I
feel bad for the people that live in Oklahoma.
Right.
I don't feel bad for the state. Like, I don't give a fuck about the state's,
well, like, it's just, I don't know. It feels a little weird to me sometimes just because I'm like, I don't know. Like, it just feels weird to hate on it, and I do hate on it because I have to drive through there all the time to go see family in Kansas.
Right.
Is just like, I don't know, like, it's like, we as white people are going to force Native Americans to go to the state, and then we're going to, like, hundreds of years later be like, that state sucks. It's like, yeah, it sucks. We purposely made it suck.
I mean, I'm not talking about, like, the Native American reservations. I'm talking about, like, the weird, like, fascist government.
Right. I know what you're saying, but and even then, like, the whole, like, their big sports team, the Sooners, is just because, like, we're like, we're not going to let white people go in here because we're forcing Native Americans here. And then white people were like,
are you talking about the name Sooners?
Yeah. And then we're like, we're going, but then white people were like, but we want some of the farmable land. Can we have it, please, daddy government? And they're like, okay, you can on this date. And then some white people were like, but we're going to do it sooner. And now all the fucking racist white people on the side of the country are like, well, Sooners. Sorry,
Would you like to learn, boys, what the name Oklahoma means?
Yes.
Here it is. It is derived from according to Wikipedia, 2 Choctaw words. First, Okla, which means people, and Humma, which means red.
Damn.
Wow.
Remember when there was a football team called the Redskins in the NFL like 2 years ago?
And then 30 Rock saved us from that. No, that's not 30 Rock. That's Kimmy Schmidt.
Fuck 30 Rock.
Kimmy Schmidt?
Yeah, Kimmy Schmidt.
What did Kimmy Schmidt do?
Kimmy Schmidt had an entire like thing about the Redskins and having a problematic name, and then like 4 years later, it actually got changed.
I mean, shout out Kimmy Schmidt, but like I don't think that really had anything to do with it.
I also don't think it had anything to do with it. That was...
Fun side fact, did you know that Kimmy Schmidt's sister is one of the head writers for The Rehearsal?
That's cool.
No.
Yeah. I think a fun little fact.
The main problem with the Commanders now is their owner, Dan Snyder, who's like a complete piece of shit.
Dan Schneider. I know a few other Dan Schneiders who aren't as...
well, this is Snyder,
that's
not
Rob
Schneider.
Schneider.
No, Dan Schneider. iCarly.
Who's the... From who? Sorry,
Nickelodeon. Drake and Josh.
Who am I thinking of? Could you look up?
No, Dan Snyder is the owner of the former Redskins, now known as the Commanders.
They're both Dan Snyder.
No, one is Dan Snyder, one is Dan Schneider.
Oh, that's where I'm.
I really fucked up the conversation here.
Okay, gotcha.
I really made it really bad and hard to follow.
Any other thoughts on Oklahoma?
I like Tulsa.
I fuck with it, but like I've been there a few times for the Flaming Lips New Year's concerts, which is great at Oklahoma City.
Okay.
It actually rules. Is that Oklahoma City? Yeah, it's Oklahoma City.
I have no idea.
So Flaming Lips, great band. Their front wing coin is from Oklahoma.
Okay.
And every New Year's, I don't know if they still do, they have a New Year's concert that's just like a great acid trip type thing. Not that I've ever done it. And in college, I went a couple of times to that. It's an insane experience. It's really fun.
That's cool.
I do have an Oklahoma story.
Please tell.
One time, I was with my dad, and we were going to Tulsa to go see Jack White perform. At some
of the White Stripes.
Yes, and other bands.
Did they get the White Stripes, like that name, from his last name?
I mean, probably.
Well, it's from Meg's last name. He took it when they got married.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah, he was Jack Gills, and then he took her name. Anyway.
That's cool.
So we were going there. I had a friend from high school who was from Oklahoma. He told me, you got to go check out this pizza place. It's called like O'Brien's or something. And me and my dad were like, hell yeah, let's go. We went to Tulsa and we like pulled it up on the map. This was still like a proto Google Maps. This was like 2011.
We're talking about Ask Jeeves maps here.
Yeah, it's not. It was nowhere near as robust.
Talking about Waze.
We spent an hour looking for this pizza place that didn't exist anymore because they had closed down.
Oh, man.
That's the whole story.
It sounds like Oklahoma for sure.
Yeah, there was supposed to be good pizza that I never
Waze just
got.
use. I just want to cut back to your Waze joke.
Yeah.
Waze actually just uses Google's API to do the mapping.
It's
so
actually the inverse. Waze, Google stole Waze.
we're gonna move on to Jeff Bezos is actually taking over the government.
That's actually how that happened.
Is that actually what I thought it was the other way around?
No.
Oh, that's fascinating.
No, Google bought Waze.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's good to know. I didn't know that. I'm actually dumb. I don't.
Good thing you're in character.
Yeah, I know. This is Alex Jones talking, not Xander Jones.
right.
Oh, boy.
That has been State Your Opinion.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening.
What a great segment.
Yeah, I really love it.
Every week.
We're committing to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're committing to it.
Are you guys telling me if I miss an episode, you're not going to do it in my honor?
There was an episode, and we didn't do it.
Did we miss it?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, the last time I was gone was when Katie was here. No, when Dylan was.
Yeah,
oh,
we
that's
didn't
right.
do it.
Had we started it before?
No,
we went?
had we?
I don't know.
I think it was like literally the week before we started
we
it.
did the
Yeah.
first episode of it.
Well, there's a precedent now. Please don't miss it. If
We
I
won't.
don't.
We won't. We would never do that to you.
I love you guys so much.
I love you too, dude.
Oh my God, we're getting to that point of the night.
Oh
We're
boy,
getting to that point.
we're at 40 minutes.
Don't touch
This
him,
is going
Colt.
for a while.
Don't
You
touch him,
think?
Colt.
Oh yeah, I'm not ending this at an hour. Fuck that shit. This is fun.
Oh really?
Yeah.
This is fun.
We're not even halfway through this bottle that we're committed to finishing.
There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
We're halfway there.
Whoa.
Living on my mouse and Wedlock.
I do have to pee. This is not a character. I'll,
All right.
I'll come back and ask
Goodbye.
myself
Goodbye.
later.
This is like actually one of the first times that like it's just been Jakeb and I on here.
All right, Xander.
Let's get down to serious.
What's the
business.
first memory you have of Colt?
Ooh, one of the first memories I have of Colt. God, that's kind of hard to kind of pinpoint. Definitely Colt Town.
Mhm.
I definitely probably through a friend, Becca, who is now engaged. Just found that out. Good for her. I think it was through like Becca's. No, before that, but like we get interacted a few times.
Yeah, because they were in Kiss and Break Up together.
Yeah,
right?
they were in Kiss and Break Up together, like their class troop.
Oh, also, isn't she in Oklahoma now?
She's
go
in
back to state-
She's in Kansas.
Oh, never mind then.
No, she's in Oklahoma. You're right.
Yeah, state your opinion. Full circle.
Woo, boo, 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 boo. But yeah, this is gonna be fun for Colt
Oh
to
yeah,
listen back to.
we should just say things to Colt because he's going to be editing.
Hey Colt, I just want to say I would never say this to your face. I find you incredibly talented and driven, and I love the passion that you bring to anything you do. It's great, and not only the passion, but the professionalism you bring to anything you do.
Hey Colt, I would never tell you this to your face, but that one time I came over to your house to learn how to edit, I took the fattest shit in your bathroom. It was huge, and like I had to break out your Oh, he's back. Hey Colt.
We're Colt's back here. Make sure we never.
Are you taking your water bottle to go pee?
He's gonna pee in a water bottle and then drink it. That's been State Your Opinion. What's your first memory of me,
Of Xander?
Jakeb?
I think starting a troop. That's not true. No, we entered together, remember?
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to explain your first memory, because your first memory of me is also my first memory of you.
Yeah, I think it was you were wearing a shirt and you Xandered all over me.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I was
Yeah.
probably wearing my Ron Swanson shirt.
That I think is 100% true.
I wore that a lot.
Yeah, and it really caught our eyes. And also,
Cauterized or caught our eyes.
you know what I meant. And we were interning, but I was a second session and you were a first session.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was like, maybe you had already been shown the ropes, but it was your first real shift.
I hadn't been shown the ropes at all.
No one showed
No
you the
one
ropes?
at any point showed me the ropes.
You know who showed me the ropes was a man called Mike.
which is Colt's.
I'm back.
Oh, is Colt sick?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Cold. It's cold as fuck in here, bro.
Colt is wearing a towel.
Yeah,
Where did you find a towel? Oh, it's your towel.
it comes with all my equipment. Yeah,
Colt, what is your first memory of us?
of you guys.
Because I can't remember my first memory of you, really.
Yeah, you kind of just started existing in my brain.
I honestly don't really remember meeting either of you.
Thanks.
I guess like Jake was teching our graduation show for Kiss and Break Up, so
Mhm.
I think I met Jake through that. I have no idea how I met you, Xander.
Yeah, it must have been in like the lobby at some point
Must have been, yeah.
of Colt Town when I was interning behind the bar.
Yeah, I was there quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I probably just met you then.
And definitely, Jakeb and I met behind the bar of Colt Town. We were both interning.
Is this what we're doing?
Yeah.
Just meeting each other? Okay, let's talk about something serious.
Fuck you. We're
Okay.
reminiscing at that point. We're doing the reminiscing of drinking.
Yeah, it's the reminiscing portion. 15 minutes from now, we will be fighting.
Hey,
so may as
guys.
well enjoy it while we
Hey
can.
guys, I want you to have relationships.
Hey, guys.
That's fine.
I have political opinions.
Is that me?
That was you. Did you recognize yourself?
I
mean, clearly he guessed it immediately.
Yeah, so that's good. It's good.
It's a good. Where were we? What were we?
Do you
talking
guys think this is a political podcast?
I don't think it's a politics
do you
podcast. I
think?
think it is a political podcast, if you
Okay.
get what I mean by that.
I don't know enough about politics to comment on it.
You said that last week.
And I'll continue to do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to be like preachy at all, but I feel like there's things that matter that are happening currently.
I don't know. I feel like one of the whole things of this is just a form for us to express ourselves, and this is a form for you to express yourself. So
Thank you.
let it fly, King.
Thanks, man.
We spent an hour earlier today, Colt and I, trying to figure out how to do a what?
What are we talking about?
Like the handshake.
Oh, yeah. I was teaching Xander how to dap. He's never done it before.
Oh, you never dapped?
Yeah, I haven't, and I still haven't successily done it, apparently.
You kind of got it at the end.
Colt is a rigorous tutor.
I just want to teach you how to be cool with the Gen Z folks.
And to be honest, I don't want to be cool with them.
Really? You want to be a Gen Z adversary?
I don't want to be an adversary. I
You
want to be
an
my
LGBT foe?
Yeah,
to be honest, I don't like acronyms.
It's LGBTZ for Zoomer.
Oh, I see.
No.
Okay.
Is that good?
I don't know.
I don't know. My ability to judge has gone out 2 whiskey shots ago.
Sure.
So when's the last time you guys accidentally said a slur on a live recording?
Never.
I don't know.
Right now.
Uh-oh. Interesting that he went with an in sound.
Yes, I also detected that.
I didn't hear anything.
Fascinating. Why would he do that?
Nickelback.
It's Nickelback.
Your joke's a lot better.
Do you guys like Nickelback?
I think
No?
Nickelback gets like meme hate. I don't think there's a reason to hate Nickelback too much.
I unironically love their big hits.
Cool.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they're catchy, sure.
Look at this
I don't like 'em.
photograph.
Oh, I don't really like that one.
That's their big hit.
No. This is how you remind me of what I really am.
This is how you remind me. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of like Nickelback when they were like popping.
I don't like them, but like, I don't care.
He doesn't like them, and he doesn't care.
Wow,
Actually,
a lot of disdain.
I have a wilder opinion. I think Nickelback is a CIA.
Say it's a psyop.
psyop.
Yeah, for sure.
Here to make sure that we don't like our heroes because their music's so bad. It makes everybody associate the word hero with hate, and so by associating the music with hate, they no longer like the word hero, and now our American kids are they see hero and they don't like it anymore.
Very insightful from Alex.
They're turning our frogs gay.
Oh,
Is there a full context to that? Have you guys seen? I'm not trying to like stand up for Alex
No,
Jones.
it's like his opinion on it is like nonsensical and like weird. Like it doesn't make any sense, and it's like inherently like against homosexual people.
Mhm.
But he's correct in saying that like there's chemicals in the water that are like fucking up the genetics of frogs. So sure.
I mean,
Thank
all
you
of
for
that's
saying that I'm right. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
that's
for
what I'm
saying that
saying.
I'm finally right.
Yeah, but you're like you've taken it from like 50% to 190%.
Thank you very much.
It's insane.
Thank you.
For sure.
I appreciate this.
Glad to help.
Alex Jones lives in Austin.
He does. Yeah.
We also live
Should
in
we
Austin.
invite him on the podcast?
No.
Oh, you wouldn't do that?
No. Why? I mean, what does Alex Jones have to say that'd be interesting on the podcast?
I don't know, but he'd certainly get us listeners.
I mean, but like, what is Alex Jones's like some of the things he says are like just inherently true in like kind of like counterculture, but like also he's just like 90% wrong on everything he says, like, and his like basis of opinion is very warped and like it doesn't make any sense and it's hateful. So
I'm right here. I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, you seem to have not been engaging with him for a while, and he's
I'm
been
right
here.
You're saying it to my face, and I appreciate that. I appreciate.
I just
your
don't
honesty.
like what opinion would Alex Jones say that would like be insightful? Like he doesn't believe anything he says. Like he's just a grifter.
Yeah.
Like he just wants money, and he's saying like it's like everybody that's in this like weird like red pill or like right wing fascist commentator shit. Like I don't think any of these guys like actually think this shit. They're just saying what's like popular and will get them money. Ben Shapiro, Alex Jones, the Matt Walshes,
there's a like a younger guy that is he is pure like he's just gone around and said like, yeah, I'm fascist. Like I'm fascist. I don't believe women should have rights. I don't believe like.
I mean, there was Andrew Tate, which
Andrew Tate. It's like
Sneeko. I don't know. There's a lot of like there's a lot of right wing commentators.
Yeah.
I don't think they actually like have those opinions even. Like I think it's just like they're following the bag almost. Like they just see that there's money in being a right wing grifter. It's also fucking easy. It's like you just literally repeat like the most hateful shit that you can imagine, and you get millions of viewers. Like a lot of these people that are right wing grifters, like were not successful prior. Steven Crowder was like a voice actor. He voiced the brain on Arthur.
Yeah.
And then like he had no career. He was a failed comedian. And then he started doing this dumbass thing where he would go to college campuses and like roast random left-leaning people on campuses that he was like way more intelligent than because they were freshmen in college. He's
the change my mind guy, right?
Yeah, he's the change my mind guy. Like none of these guys actually think. I mean, maybe they do. Like, it doesn't even really matter what their opinion is. Like, they're just grifters. They're just saying what's the most hateful thing because they know it will make them money. So, I don't have any interest in, like, talking to those guys. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no reason to talk to them.
It's one of the reasons I hate that meme.
Which meme?
That meme changed my mind. Like, I hate seeing it places.
I mean, because it's, like, a literal fascist.
Yeah, because I'm just like, do y'all not know who that person is?
Sure.
It's used by people who don't know, right? And I'm just like, don't just...
We've talked about this a lot on the show, but, like, there's way too much, like, internet culture that's breaking into the mainstream these days. Mm-hmm. It's very disturbing for people that are, like, invested on online media. Yeah. Like, to see memes that, like, actually, like, have a historical meaning, like... Historical is a weird way to say it, but like on the internet,
it's historical now. It's been going
it's like
so long.
Weeks on the internet are like years in real life in some ways, where things are moving so fast and things have like meaning, and people are posting them for a reason, but there's not like any interaction with the mainstream and the like online hive mind that's creating these memes. Like it's completely separate. And people from the mainstream sometimes pick things out from the online and they just run with it with their own agenda sometimes. It's very strange.
Like the
like Dark Brandon.
Yeah, exactly. Like Dark Brandon.
Pepe.
Just moved from one to the next to the next to the next until it percolates to the president. And he's like, huh.
It's so fucking weird. It's disturbing to me. I don't like it.
He's a 10, but he has laser eyes. See, that was like years ago on the internet, but that was probably like 3 weeks ago.
I mean, that's years ago on the internet.
Exactly, yeah.
It is, for sure.
Does alcohol just make people sad? Because that's what this feels like.
It's called a depressant.
What?
Let's do a retrospective.
Sure.
You guys have a favorite moment?
You know, I don't think enough just like genuine, heartfelt love kind of comes out in these moments. In podcasts, and I want to be honest. Mm-hmm. And I think, Colt, you're an excellent interviewer. And
nice
if you were ever do like a interview-centric podcast that isn't this,
that's Good Evening.
I think you should. And Good Evening is a fantastic podcast. And Jakeb, I think you're excellent at reading the general room generally and listening. And that's something I've been trying to work on personally, is the whole like listening and being better and more aware of the situation going on. And Jakeb, I think you naturally already lean into that, and it works so well, and was one of the reasons I enjoy podcasting with us. So
I agree. Xander, you're great. I don't have the words to describe how you've been good on the show, but you've been good.
Thank you. That means a lot. And you like, I'm not asking, like, I just want to be clear. I'm not asking for like compliments or make this like a compliment segment. No. I just want to do a retrospective.
I've really enjoyed the show. I don't know, man. Like
You guys know the game 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How like any actor can be like, 2
Yeah.
movies or more. What's your degrees away from someone who's participated in a circle jerk?
0. I feel like me.
You've been in a circle jerk? That's interesting. And you high-fived. That's also interesting.
Yeah, it's called washing your hands, Colt.
I see.
Or not in this situation.
I don't.
You don't have anyone who
I don't think-
who's done a circle jerk?
No, I think I'm like at least 10 degrees of separation away.
No, I'm right here.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
1 degree
I know.
separated.
We're both
you fucking
1 at a
shit.
minimum.
We are at 1.
Yeah.
Well, that's real crazy here.
Okay. Alex Jones has participated in a circle jerk.
I've jerked off. I'm not gonna go with that one.
My old boss had lights from Alex Jones' show when he got bankrupted the first time.
Oh, he's been bankrupted multiple times?
Yeah.
Does that mean he's going to bounce back after this?
Probably, yeah. He's just gonna use this as like another reason to go.
I feel like he's probably fucked at this point. I think he's probably on the tail end of his grifter arc. Hopefully.
Grifters.
How would you feel if someone accused this podcast of being a grifting podcast?
Who are we targeting?
Yeah, we literally have never asked for money.
Well, we're political.
Well, I've actually asked for money almost every single
Yeah.
episode, but
Yeah, but like you've asked, you've just been like, give me money. Like you haven't been like, give me money and I'll cure all your problems, or give me money and I'll reveal the truth to you. No,
and
you're just
that
like,
is what I've been
that's
fucking up on.
Look up the description of like the last podcast episode. That's what it says.
that we're
Give us
grifters.
money and we will solve. We will solve this. We have the solution to all of your life problems. Just listen to the episode.
Just pull up the last episode
Yeah.
of the podcast.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not associated with how these descriptions are written, or do I have any editorial opinion on these. These are entirely made by Colt Joyce, and he approves everything that's made.
Yeah. Eventually we'll have some.
Are you on HBO Max?
Descriptions.
Are you just watching House of Dragons right now? Oh, speaking of, while he's looking that
Does
up,
anyone care about that?
I watched
I'm
the
watching it.
I watched the first
Okay.
episode.
It's like one of those things. I'm just like, it's like your third kid who's like, let's say, okay, here I have an analogy here.
I'm ready.
Okay, first kid is a theater kid. All right, you have a kid.
Shit.
And you have he's a theater kid. Your kid is in a theater show, and you're going to support him. And these shows suck. But you're like, all right, you gotta
Right.
support your child because he's doing these shows, but they suck.
Right.
And he finally graduates, and he's gone. And you're like, fuck yes, he's gone. He's out of here. And
This is
then,
really brutal.
and
to
then,
what you're describing.
and then, hey, I'm the theater kid, and
Yeah,
I'm just
I know.
describing my own mother.
I'm
kidding. My
I'm
mom has
familiar.
my mom has never done this. My mom's very supportive. She's incredible.
Your mom seems sick from
My,
what
mo-
she's talking about.
my
on the
mom is
podcast.
truly one of the best moms in the world.
Can we get your mom on an episode?
No,
That'd
she
be
would.
funny.
She would. I actually, as like a memory thing.
Did she call in?
Yeah, actually.
You want to call her now?
No,
That's a bad idea.
It is 9:00. She's asleep.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
But then you have a second child,
Okay.
and that second child is also in theater, and then you're like,
Damn.
God damn it, you couldn't have been in sports or like a debate club or something else, and so now all of a sudden you have to go watch another group of shows, and so you're just like,
Yeah. Damn, it's the Suzucal again.
you're just like, oh, they did this again. Oh, they're just reusing the same
Interesting. The same
Sets.
costumes.
sets and same costumes. Okay,
The Phantom of the Opera every 4 years. I
Wow.
could see it.
So you're just like, okay, kid, you're great as a chorus member in that musical. So guess it's 4 more years of this bullshit.
Yeah. So this is an analogy that you're like laying
So this
out
is
still.
my analogy.
We're about 4 minutes into the analogy currently.
So my analogy is House of Dragons is if you had a second child join a theater department show and you are just watching the same shows again.
I see.
You're just like, I'm supporting them.
Well, but this time they all have like silver hair.
You know, they all
cool.
now one person now it's just like one, and originally only one person had silver hair, but now everybody does, and it's better, right?
I've been continuing with Game of Thrones. I've been
How's that going? Where are you at?
I'm at like episode 6 or whatever.
So you're still in the golden age.
I mean, season 1, episode 6.
Season 1 through 4, best seasons.
I've been
Everything
enjoying.
after.
I've been. Let me clarify. I don't think I've been enjoying it. I think I hate everybody in the show except for Arya and the like Italian sword guy.
You're not gonna like the rest of the show, buddy.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yep.
Okay, so I
dislike everyone. I hate everyone in the
it's
show.
fascinating.
Yeah.
I actually like season 1 through 4. I genuinely really enjoy. There
Yeah.
are some choices that I don't love. I'm like, okay, it makes sense for the medium.
I mean, I never watched any of it, so
You don't love Tyrion?
which one's Tyrion?
The dwarf played by Peter Dinklage. Yeah.
I mean,
Petey Dinks.
I don't know. Not he's like weird and snarky and like unfunny in my opinion so far.
Okay, I mean, like I get it. I don't fully agree.
He drinks
don't have to
wine.
agree.
He drinks
Yeah, I know.
wine and he knows things. He's just like me.
Season one, I think is a pretty decent adaptation for like the medium, and I'm
Yeah.
totally cool with it.
I also haven't read the book, so I have no context at all.
Season 2 is a Tyrion season, and is I think decent, has some weird choices. Season 3 is good.
Okay.
Season 4 I think is the best season of the show.
I'm gonna keep watching. Like I'm enjoying it. Like I think the action's good. I think like it looks cool.
The production of the first 4 seasons is great. Season 4 I think is really, really good. Is probably the best season of the show.
Sure.
And then season 5 immediately takes a big dump.
I've heard people hate 5 and 6. So.
But I literally stopped watching the show in season 6.
Really?
And then I came back the latter half of season 7 just to see how not season 7, season 8, just to see how they would handle the ending.
Sure. Do you think he's ever gonna finish? Probably not. No.
No, God no, because he still hasn't finished fucking The Winds of Winter, which is the second to last book, the penultimate book.
Yeah.
And then he's still supposed to finish Dreams of Spring. And on top of that, he wants to finish an additional Fire and Blood 2, which is what's happening right now in House of Dragons. And then additional novellas for Duncan Egg novels. I'm sure he wants to fuck off and do other things.
He's too busy going to dead shows. He's at all the dead
and Elden Ring.
To be honest, good for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really give a fuck if he finishes
dude made his check. Like,
yeah, he's successful. He's.
I actually read his Dead novel.
What does that mean?
Really?
So he has because he wrote a bunch of other books.
What's the name of the band? I'm forgetting it.
I can't hear you.
Really? You can't hear me?
I can hear him.
You can hear him?
Yeah.
I can't hear anybody aside from myself.
Really?
Yeah, I might need a.
How about now?
No.
You can't hear anyone but yourself?
Yeah.
Narcissist.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Well, I can hear you here. As long as it's recording, it's fine. Is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay.
He has a light on, it looks like, at the bottom.
Where? Oh, sorry. How about that?
I guess I'm the new tech god of Austin, fellas.
I think I accidentally pushed a button.
Where was I?
I didn't even realize that.
Dead novel. Describe that.
So like George R. R. Martin has written a ton of novellas that are really great. Something that George does is he has written a lot of novels that hint at what probably the story for Game of Thrones is going to lead to, A Song of Ice and Fire.
Sure.
So his a lot of his stories tend to revolve around hive minds, subtle takeovers of society through those hive minds, a lot of things like that, which is 1000% where A Song of Ice and Fire is going to go to. Listener, if you are somehow a big A Song of Ice and Fire fan, just a hint, just go watch any video where they're talking about George R. R. Martin's other books, and it just tells you the ending of where A Song of Ice and Fire is going to go. I know exactly how it's going to end. Even if he never finishes it, this is how it's going to end. Bran is going to take it. Bran is going to take over.
Which is what happens in the show.
Is what happens with the show. However, Bran has been taken over by the Three-Eyed Crow, which is a mystic being from prior, which has taken over.
I saw that in the second episode.
Which has taken over as
whatever.
Which has taken over as a hive mind. That is how it's going to end. He's going to be king, but really his king is as an ancient tree god that has malevolent control. That's what's going to happen.
That's sick, Bran.
I
like Bran. I like Bran and Arya. That's the only people I like in the show.
It's actually pretty sick. One of his other books is this the psychedelic novel that is 100% just like a tip and a nod to the Grateful Dead, which is sick. I love the Grateful Dead, and I love George R. R. Martin, so I read both and listened to both, and the book's pretty good.
That's interesting.
I forget what
there's a sports podcast I love called The Dan Le Batard Show, which I will say, if I ever win any award, it will be the first thing I think in my acceptance speech is the Dan Le Batard Show, because I started listening to it when I was like 15 years old in Kansas. It's the only show that like taught me how to like be involved in comedy at all. It is I am a stan for Billy Gill, the producer of that show, and Mike Ryan. That show is amazing.
I want to use this opportunity to shout out my friend of mine who is no longer with us.
Batard.
Steven.
Dan Le Batard.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
But my friend Steven, who is no longer with us, is one of the smartest people I ever met.
Loved Cumtown too.
Loved Cumtown.
Yeah.
Like just incredibly passionate, creative person. He had the biggest heart of all time. Some would say that maybe that was the reason. Anyways,
shout out Steven. I don't know this guy, but he sounds really cool.
You would love him. Like genuinely, like if Steven was still around, he would be fourth host for us.
Damn. R.I.P.
He talked about the show a lot. He loved it.
I love that show, man. That's like, honestly, I would credit like my like worldview to the Dan Le Batard show. That show, like,
They're anarchists.
I know I'm playing like the anarchist character a little bit for the show, but like Dan Le Batard was like the first like legitimate like show that existed in my life that was like not Christian, that was not like a weird like Christian media industry. I listened to Dan Le Batard show before they even went to ESPN, and now they've left ESPN, but that show's amazing. Very funny, very insightful, covers a lot of political stuff too.
That's
I've
sick.
never heard of it. But if it's a recommend,
It's awesome.
Do you still listen?
Yeah, almost
Nice.
every day. I've listened to almost every day for it's been like 10 years.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. I've been listening to Le Batard show for 10 years.
How long are the episodes?
I mean, they do like 3 hours a day.
Do you like sports?
Yeah.
You a sports guy, Jake?
I enjoy the act of watching sports
Mhm.
so much, in the same way that I
Sure.
enjoy like going to the theater, or I enjoyed like going to church. I love this like group watch kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
I like the stats of sports. I really like stuff like baseball and basketball for like their ongoing stats. I don't know any player names. I don't know anyone
Sure.
attached to a team. I just loved being there and watching the sport.
Shout out to Austin FC. Apparently,
Who
is
are
really
good this year.
Really,
Yeah.
really good.
I guess. And
They beat the #1 team.
Yeah. No, they're number
It's
three.
great.
They're number 3. Number 2, I think, was Dallas.
Okay.
let's be clear, MLS is like a terrible league of soccer.
Well,
But-
I hear they're getting better.
Or like for the United States.
For
it's
the
like-
United
Well,
States, it's
my
the
new
best league,
roommate
but-
Harry is a huge soccer fan, and he was explaining the other day how a couple of MLS teams have been beating Premier League teams in some play.
Is it true?
Yeah, like they beat Everton like 3-0 or
We're
something
coming
like
for
that.
you.
Bro, I gotta piss again. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god!
He broke the seal. This guy, this rookie drinker broke the seal too early.
You can't do it. And if you do, you just do it here.
Rookie drinker.
All right. Any more stories about Colt you want to tell while he's gone?
Honestly, this podcast has been my main avenue for getting to know and understand Joyce. Colt. We've always early on prior to the pandemic, we're like immediately connected, like how you and I connected, which I think is like something I always really enjoy about you, Jake, and why like you and I have like a little brotherly tete-a-tete.
Well, I think I'm the little brother.
Oh, for sure. And I like where that comes from is like I come from like I'm the youngest and I got bullied relentlessly by my brothers, and that's just like it is an unhealthy like masculine thing. But the people that I do that to tend to be the ones that are, like I have a extra level of love for.
I love it. I like being.
I
bullied.
know,
I
and
can
that,
take
like,
it.
that's-
I can take it.
That's why like I enjoy it, and then but like occasionally I'm like, oh, that might have been too much, and so I do appreciate like
I can take it. My whole life, I've been the guy who will take a joke at their expense. And every friend group that I've ever been in has at some point realized that Jake is the guy you can endlessly make jokes about and will take it. Everyone else at some point will get pushed too far. But Jake, you can just keep going. So it kind of funnels it down to me, and I'm totally fine with that. I
know
love
what?
it. Comedy
Not
for
me.
comedy's sake.
You
got
can't hurt my feelings.
and you
Oh
know-
yeah? Colt?
Yeah,
Why the fuck can't you dunk at basketball then?
because I'm short and fat.
God. I got nothing on this guy. I have no idea what to do anymore.
Oh,
So we're 15 minutes in, right?
yeah.
Cool. Well,
Xander's breaking the seal or whatever.
so you have any things you want to say about Xander while he's gone? He won't hear this until the episode releases.
In retrospect, like it's kind of weird that we started the podcast because like I didn't really know you guys at all before we started.
Yeah.
But like it's been really cool. I've enjoyed it. I was looking for people to do a show like this with, so I'm glad I found you guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
for sure. He's doing a little jig. He's doing a
Oh.
little jig.
You guys pee fast.
I mean, yeah. I trust your editing on this. That this is gonna be like 2 hours reduced to 30 minutes.
Yeah, this
Sure.
will be a 26-minute episode.
I will do one more shot and then be done for the night.
Oh, I don't know if I can do another one. Just do me a half shot. Did you?
Let's
did
take
you
a
pour me
shot.
half a shot.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Let's
thank
take a
you very
shot.
much. You're
This
a
is
good
a
friend.
big shot, bro.
No, this is smaller than the last one. If you want to trade, we can.
Let's trade. That's a big shot, bro. This is way less. What the fuck are you trying to do to me?
Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that. I'm
it's
sorry.
like double.
I'm drunk.
Can I see the amount that you gave?
Is
Colt?
Xander compare?
What the
compare?
fuck, bro? I gotta fucking drive home after this.
Shit, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't
admit that
know.
on the podcast in case you die.
It's all right. It's all right. This is just my paranoid brain. Can we move the bottle away from the edge of the table? It's making me very uncomfortable. Thank you so much.
What's funny is like Christina was here earlier and she had that giant open cocktail thing, and it was
I was worried about that.
Just right next to your engineer board. And I thought it was I was just like, can you just fucking move that and not put that there?
My $800 one equipment piece that like is irreplaceable. Like it would take 6 months to replace. That'd be fucking sick if we just like didn't have a podcast for 6 months because somebody poured a drink over the top of it.
Happy 21!
That'd be fucking legendary. Let's do this.
Here we go, boys.
Hey, I love you, boys.
Love you too. Love you too.
I love you. I hate
I'm gonna cut it. Oh God, it's getting worse.
It is. How does that get worse? I guess the more air that is on that bottle, though. Like,
what is wrong with that? Yeah, it's much worse now. What happened?
Oh, I spit in it.
Damn.
Your spit is really bitter.
Why did that happen?
You need to get that checked out, Jakeb.
I don't know.
You got acid reflux, bro?
I do.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Papaya enzyme. That's what fixes that, bro.
Oh.
Is that a new
papaya
tropic that I should be testing out?
No, it's
speaking
papaya.
of, can I borrow some of that?
I don't think I'm slurring.
I definitely slurred a lot more at the beginning of this.
Luckily, Alex Jones stepped in.
I stepped in and made sure I don't slur.
You covered yourself pretty well with it, Alex.
I'm really surprised. I've been like curious if I could do an Alex Jones, but I haven't practiced it, and I'm surprised it ends up working well.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't like listened to Alex Jones other than like him in the courtroom.
Let's talk about that. So
sure.
This is a real interesting point that I want to dig into.
Okay.
So you guys have political beliefs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? How do you feel about consuming stuff from the other side? Like, do you think that it is necessary to listen to some Fox News stuff, to listen to some Alex Jones, to read Ayn Rand and see what they're like and be able to break down their talking points? My thoughts with this, it's like the Bible. The easiest way to become an atheist, people say, is to just read the Bible for long enough. So it feels like it's necessary to if you're going to form a political belief, tearing something else down, that you should consume the media of theirs. So that
I don't
way
think
you know
I have
what it
that
is.
perspective, but like I still do consume right wing media just to like understand what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to like consume the full perspective of like everyone's opinion to like understand what's going on. But
like I mean, I've had this thought for a while. And I was talking to nameless libertarian that I won't give credit to, who told me that it was not worth reading Das Kapital because no one who...
Of course he would say that.
Because none of the communists that I would be having discourse with have actually read it.
You're not even in this photo.
I'm not at all.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I haven't read Das Kapital. I don't read fucking Marx.
Right, like primary sources. It seems like it's important to read.
I get my
but who
political
fucking
beliefs from
cares?
Marvel.
They're fucking dead. No one fucking cares. I don't care about what Marx wanted. I care about what is possible in the current modern era. I don't give a fuck about what Marx's opinion was. Like I want what's like currently feasible and currently helpful for people in the world.
I think that's actually kind of beautiful.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Alex. Okay, it's hard to tell what is coming out of you. But yeah, I mean,
know with me, I'm always.
It seems necessary. Like
I mean,
knowing what the enemy says.
I know the theory of Marx. I understand it. I haven't directly read Marx, but I understand what the point is. I think it's important to like hear all these different perspectives and then form your own opinion, because if you haven't heard all these perspectives, you're just repeating someone else's opinion. Mm-hmm. If you haven't heard people talk about things that you don't agree with, like you don't have any reason to disagree with them. You know, like there's no like movement either way unless you like have a full perspective. Just like kind of on that aspect, like you don't get anything valuable from watching Tucker Carlson. You don't get anything valuable from watching Fox News. You don't get anything valuable from watching Steven Crowder. You don't we're all generally, I mean, I assume so for you, Colt. Like our families, our initial backgrounds were probably a little more conservative than where we are right now. My family is, yeah.
My family, my family friends, like all that stuff is a lot more conservative.
I mean, just Texas and Kansas as states are conservative
100%.
places.
I don't know. For me, my family, I think I was the first person to ever become political, and then everyone else retroactively became conservative in the Trump era. But like, I got to college, I got political, and then simultaneously, a lot of people started getting on the hell yeah, Trump is gonna drain the swamp.
I was, as a child, asked to participate in a fake vote in which we all talked about how we voted for Bush. No, I have been in an environment that has been indoctrinating children into a Republican environment. That's just what Texas does. Sorry to whistle blow. That is just what happens.
Do you guys remember when Nickelodeon asked kids to vote on the 2008 election?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was a whole thing that they said. It was like kids should be paying attention to the elections happening in the country.
What was
All
the
the kids.
What was the 08? Was that Obama Bush?
Yeah.
Obama McCain.
McCain?
Yeah, Obama McCain.
I
I voted for Huckabee then.
How did you vote?
You did it online on the Nickelodeon website.
Student vote or like a Nickelodeon vote thing.
Yeah.
And then
I was
a
so, like,
real Nickelodeon representative would then take whoever won the Nickelodeon kid vote and
they
then
get
take
one
a video of themselves voting for that person.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's probably not real. That's how I thought it worked as a kid, but I don't think that's how it actually worked.
Which year was this? Sorry.
08 was the
08.
Nickelodeon election.
I was
08. So
14.
I was like 10.
So what I was gonna the whole thing I'm getting to is that everyone I know is that leaning pretty much in my
Like right wing.
yeah, outside of my immediate friends now, everyone I know is right leaning. That's just when you're in Texas and you live here your whole life, and particularly in the suburbs, that's just what, at least for me, that's just life.
Yeah.
To answer your question, do I find value into that? I will at some point, at any point, be in their home. Fox News will be on. Everything on there is such immediate lie and fiction that just thinking about it, you don't even have to fact check. Just looking at the screen, watching what happens, watching what they're saying.
Yeah.
And it's so immediately wrong and invalid to just reality. Just basic reality that no, there is no conceivable moment where I think there is value in me listening or watching this at any point. I will be at a family friend's home. I will be helping them with house stuff or whatever because they're old and they need some help. And if Fox News will just be on, they just have Fox News on just as a radio or as a podcast, just as something giving them information. And it's just it is repeating the same bullshit. I was gonna say agoraphobic. Whatever it is, just xenophobic. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Xenophobic, bullshit, and things of just basic humanity is taking out of every context that there's no value in whatever you are watching. And it fucking it just their brain drains. And these are people who consider themselves Christian, and they'll approach me in conversation and they'll talk about this, and I will just I don't consider myself Christian now, but I'm fairly familiar with the doctrines of everything. Walker Nolan, sorry,
clean Christian comedy.
I'm not clearly not in character for this as a character, but but I'll be talking to them and I'll just lay out the Bible and I was just this does not line up. This news that you are getting fed to you right now does not line up with the basic principles that you and I went to church on.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll I will and they like me. I you know me, you all know me. If you know me as a person in conversation, I'm generally very approachable. So when I
would agree with
when I am disagreeing with you, which is very rare, but when I'm disagreeing with a person and I'm just the very basic principles that you say you stand by do not align with this political ideology that you're getting on television. And they suddenly have this you see the cognitive dissonance break their mind, and then they immediately dismiss me because they're oh, that's not how it works. You're too young.
Sure.
And it's no, I'm post college. I'm a liberal. I'm not liberal, but you're a liberal to our degree. You're a fucking liberal. What I was just gonna say, Jacob, just to answer your question, is no, that shit does not. There is no value in watching Fox News other than just getting the basic talking points of understanding maybe where they're gonna come from, but just understanding basic human reality. They're living on a different reality.
Well, okay, right, definitely understand Fox News. I do think that there is
What do you think about a CNN though? In some ways, I kind of feel similar about a perspective like that. If you're just downloading the liberal media perspective, in some ways I don't know if that's even that much better.
Right. I mean
there is the objective some of the right-wing stuff, especially recently, like in the Trump era and past, like has been more explicitly fascist and more explicitly like violent against minorities, whether that be like people immigrating to the United States or like sexual minorities in the United States, where like trans people and that entire LGBTQ like sector has been pretty hated by right-wing media, especially in current days. But like I don't really feel like the war-loving CNN like is necessarily a bastion of like progressive thought in any way.
No.
Like
Fuck no.
Like especially like in states, like I think there'd be a very similar story from people in states like, I don't know, like Rhode Island or Maine, where they're progressive. Let's call them liberal states. They're liberal states where like Fox News has just been replaced by CNN, and people are just downloading that as their political like ideology, and like they think the Democrats are going to solve everything. That if the Democrats win the Senate, then they'll actually like pass abortion legislation, which they had opportunities to during Obama's administration, but they quote unquote. I mean, literal quote from Obama said, "This is not a priority." I mean, there's a lot of like weird wiggle room in that space where like I don't know if they're cracking another cold one, boys. I don't know, like if you're taking any like singular source of media as your entire perspective, like I don't respect
The Daily
that.
Show is what I watch. I only watch The Daily Show.
The Daily Show. Fuck John Oliver currently. Like any of these, like if there's one person you can look to, even if it's like a leftist perspective, like if you only watch Hasanabi, like I love Hasanabi. I think he has a lot of great opinions about things that are happening in the current world. But like, if you don't consume anything but one perspective, like you're gonna be fucked up. There's no way around it.
Well, I think there's it's very different to talk about keeping up with current events,
Sure,
and political philosophies. Like
Definitely.
I do think that primary sources are very powerful, like reading Marx, reading like the counterexample that I can think of is Ayn Rand, reading fucking Mein Kampf.
I don't think we need to read Mein Kampf. I think we can unanimously decide that was wrong.
I think that it is a worthwhile exercise. I think
I'll take the Spark Notes at most on that one.
Even that is a little bit better. I did buy it on Kindle when I was like 18, not because I was interested.
I think there's a thing that we need to differentiate between like the far right and the far left, because there is a definite like difference between being a fascist and like hating people for being a specific way and the far left perspective. Like the far right perspective is like inherently hateful and like detrimental to specific like reduced minorities. Like I think that's a completely different thing that we can't do like heroes on both sides about this. Like there's no comparing like communism and Nazism. Like we can talk about like what has gone wrong in quote unquote communist states like Russia and China.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm fully willing to have that conversation and like even discuss like the pitfalls of communism and socialism. Like I'm fully prepared for that, but there is a huge difference between like the baseline state of communism and socialism and fascism.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very important to not like equate those two and set those like as diametrically opposed and equal forces.
Right.
Like there's a huge difference between the perspectives of people on the left and the people on the right, in terms of what like is acceptable and what is like possible in a future world.
It's a political philosophy, but you have to have an underlying belief before you build that. And that underlying belief, if it is corrupted and evil and purely like racist off the bat or something.
It's like expressly so. It's not even like veiled in any way. Like the people that would say they're like the people that identify as fascist, and there are a lot.
Yeah.
And I think you would find them more online than you would in public, because there's not very many people in public that are willing to admit to being fascist. But like their perspective is entirely different and entirely like it's so much more hateful and violent than like anything opposed to them.
celebrating the death of someone at any point to me is a no-go zone. Like for the most part.
I don't know.
I mean, like I get what you're saying, but like
I'm like so far dirtbag leftist at this point.
I get what you're saying, but like what I'm saying is like
sure.
celebrating the death of just like a normal person,
like a civilian.
Yeah,
sure.
coming back to like Kiwi farms.
Those
like,
anti-vaxxers finally fucking bit the bullet.
Yeah, like
I didn't like that shit.
Like I don't like that. I don't like celebrating someone who like has been so misled by internet propaganda that they suddenly have died. And I don't like when someone has committed suicide, obviously, and like
poor Hitler.
Kiwi Farms is fucking like celebrating. Actually, you're right. But like, let's be real. Hitler didn't kill himself. The aliens did. I'm gonna be honest. The aliens killed.
Okay, Alex. Yeah, they were on that island. They were Louis St. James or whatever. Okay.
Everybody knows that Eva Braun was in fact a dead alien.
Right.
But what I'm saying is like, just like the sheer celebration of death is so interesting. Like not interesting. It's just like morbidly to me that like the difference with like communism and like any fascist like fucking bullshit is like a lot of the communist states that have existed are authoritarians utilizing like a good idea that is popular with the masses.
And in many cases, like Venezuela, for example, like it's a socialist state that's been hamstrung and like actively disrupted by the United States.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to say Venezuela is a failed socialist state without also including this like the CIA's involvement and like trying to
CIA's involved with Venezuela. Everybody knows this.
I mean, this is not a conspiracy theory.
Right. This is like documented.
Theory. This is like just facts. I'm not spitting conspiracy theory.
It's like Call of Duty campaigns. Yeah. Like everyone knows about this.
It's like that's what of the memes that are prominent right now, one of my favorites right now is like the right wing conspiracy theme, like memes, and the left wing conspiracy theme memes is like left wing conspiracy.
The CIA killed that guy.
That guy. Yes,
yes, they did.
Right wing is just like they're putting eggs in our buttholes because of if we don't have eggs in our buttholes, then
the vaccine has a microchip that's going to go in your arm. It's a mark of the beast.
You own a phone. You fucking idiots.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I said to my dad whenever he was very pro or anti-vaccine at the beginning. I was like, oh no, a way for them to track you.
What could
like
it
a computer in your pocket. That would be terrifying. If only you didn't post on Facebook 30 times a day with all of the things that you like.
I just want to, like, this is a message to the listener. I just want to.
Okay, go for it.
Listener singular.
This listener singular.
There's multiple people.
Listeners.
Shout out. Please text me at 903-714-1205.
I am like the more and more is like the further into history we go, like the more people are getting doxxed. Like everyone's getting fucking doxxed right now.
I'm doxing myself. They can't dox me. My email address JAKTE at you.
This is a message to the listener. You're not important. You're not important.
Damn, all right.
You're not. No, this is okay. It sounds like a negative. It sounds like a negative right now, and I get it. You're suddenly tackling this mental block you're having. We're like, but I am important.
But I am important.
I get it. You are important to those that love you. I get it. You're important to me,
but not to us.
You're not. Oh, you're important to me. You're important to me. Maybe not Colt. It's Colt.
No, I don't give a fuck about you.
That's just Colt. But what I'm saying is, you're not important. Your data is being sold because you are just a number in someone's book. You are being listened to by the government, but no one cares because everybody's being heard by the government. What I'm saying right now is you're not important. And that's actually a good thing. That's freeing because everybody is being listened to. I'm slurring a little bit. Yeah, everybody's being listened to a little bit. Everybody is being tracked. Everybody is suddenly getting their data just sold.
But but if you're not a criminal, then why do you care?
What I'm saying is, it's okay. It's freeing. Go out in the world. Do what you want because nothing fucking matters. Just go.
Sorry, I am a criminal.
You are.
I do care.
So just like it's okay. You don't matter, and that's okay. That's freeing.
Existentialism.
The only purpose you have is the purpose you give yourself.
I don't know where we're going with this.
I'm just.
Do you guys here? Actually, I had something that I wanted to bring up, and let's have a discussion.
I'm not doing another shot.
I'm not either. I assume this was just for me.
We're at an hour 40. I think we can wrap up whenever you guys are feeling.
Well,
good.
Unfortunately, I have something to dive into.
Let's do it. This is gonna be a long ass episode.
I love that.
It's the drunk episode. They know what they're getting. This is a bang for your buck, baby.
For sure.
We should have done one at 42.
Oh, that's the weed episode.
That, yeah, we're
really high.
Yeah. And we just don't say anything. And we just like apologizing the whole time.
God, which episode? I had taken like an edible. I forget.
Can we rent a car at episode 25?
Hell yeah, that's a great idea.
We rent a car, and also we break up with, or we're
broken up with.
Yeah, we're recovering from our breakup.
I can't rent a car currently.
Yeah, we know, you fucking little baby.
I'm 24.
Oh shit, baby.
I'm a little baby boy.
Did you guys learn anything from the Bible that you want to share? Like moral life lessons that like actually carried over.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that has informed me that I can't think of a specific example.
I'm gonna be
I'm gonna go in real quick. The letters from Paul actually have some good legitimate shit in them.
Like don't get married.
I wouldn't say that, but like there's some bullshit in there. I really like Romans. It has some like decent shit in there that's like fun to, like good to read and is good to like kind of inform some like actions that ultimately are better portrayed by Buddhism. Like I'm a big fan of secular Buddhism in general. But like there are some like that's the thing about the Bible that like
I don't have a problem with the fucking Bible. Like I have a fucking problem with like the Christian church.
Yeah.
Like I don't call myself a Christian anymore at all because I hate what the Christian church exists as in the United States.
Yeah.
Like I don't have an issue with like Christ. I don't even like feel like I'm like fully disinvested from like being a follower of him. Even like I don't feel that way. I think I'm like a hopeful agnostic at this point. Like I don't really care what happens. Like I'm not invested in like the long term. I'm okay with whatever happens when I die.
But if it's
like,
something good, like awesome,
it's fine. Like I just hate like what's been warped and like shifted in the Christian church currently. Like
I mean like
it's so fucked.
The rise of just just the warping of Christianity, the warping of all religions within the United States, the warping of every culture within the United States as a mega capitalist state has completely destroyed any resemblance of like Christianity. There is no Christianity within Christianity in the United States.
No.
Like there's none.
It's just for show. It's like a parade that we do every week.
This is gonna sound super like
you've already said a slur on the podcast, so go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just drunk enough to say it again. The only person who's ever made me even potentially believe in the Christian God is my mom. This is where you both say ah.
Aww.
My mother is religious, but she's been very clear that it's not about what the pastor says. It's not even about the Bible says. It's about your spiritual connection with the Lord. It's about spending time in every day with prayer with him. Mm-hmm. And my mom is the only person who I have seen every single prayer she's ever had answered. Like we have been poor my entire life, and every time she's just about out of money, it comes out of nowhere. Yeah, every time she needs something, she prays on it. She'll spend like hours crying on the floor, and then it happens, and we just make it by.
I mean, I have like visceral experiences with some kind of higher power. I would say, like in high school, I don't think I've ever told this story on like any recorded media, but I was
cutting this.
Very good. I was in Disney World for a band trip in high school, and I don't know. I just like felt like I needed to text this guy at a specific time. Like I woke up in the middle of the night. I was like, I need to text this guy right now about. I can't even remember what the situation was, but like later on, I learned like this guy was about to throw himself off the roof of a hotel in Orlando. And like I feel like that was a real legitimate experience with some kind of higher power where like I felt compelled to do a thing at a specific time, and it like lined up with like this guy was going to kill himself if I didn't reach out at the specific time. And I don't feel like any kind of like I don't think that came from me, you know? Like I feel like that happened for a reason or whatever, but like I also don't give a fuck about like any of these like weird like Christian commentators that are like using Christianity for like their own purposes. Like I don't give a fuck about any of this, and I don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
So I'm not throwing away my personal experiences. I'm not like divesting myself from like even experiencing like a higher power, but like I just don't want to be involved with anything that's like currently in is the perspective. I have.
No, I'm like, like I think.
Oh shit!
I wouldn't say, but like, I don't believe in the United States version of Christianity at all. Like it's completely scarred me from a childhood.
I mean, I'm fucked up, bro.
Yeah, no, like
I'm fucked up.
Yeah, we are collective. Like I think that's one of the reasons you and I immediately kind of understand each other on a certain level is because we both come from that background.
Bro, I'm
super
distressed.
Yeah, I
constantly.
I am there with you.
Yeah.
I am there with you.
Yeah.
Like my family, single mother, who raised three men, like 3 boys, and 2 like generally very self-sufficient men. Like we all are very self-sufficient men.
Right.
Which is like the best thing you can hope for as a parent, and to have done that as a single mother, and like to like on your point of your mom, like she was my mom was very similar, like very religious, and like got she didn't have every one of her answers prayer because she had to work fucking hard, and like that's something I have to illustrate to her all the time. Is like half of the job of getting to that point of being able to raise us wasn't just God, it was your hard work. Like, do not discount yourself for the work that you have done. I mean, you are, to quote the Bible, you are the hands and feet of the Lord.
Exactly. Biblically, it doesn't take that away from you. It's just the Christian church in America that's like fully divested yourself from anything that happens. It gone to like the full like hands off, like I don't give a fuck about anything that happens. I'm gonna go to heaven when I die mindset. Yeah. Like I fucking hate.
I had cancer and hepatitis, and the doctors helped me get through it. Praise God, He saved me.
I mean, you can praise God and like thank the doctor. Like you
can split praise.
Man, this shit sucks.
It's just like the Resh Hashem shows. Definitely watch it. Big. I don't know. Just a modern American religion is just so fucked. And I was watching a video. I was watching a video today of like a Gen Z giving a sermon, like a Gen Z person giving a sermon, and they're like,
"Don't slander Gen Z. That's my man."
Sorry, buddy. They had like she was preaching. She's like, Jesus is the only one who satisfies, and she like it was fucking weird. And she had like she was wearing a varsity jacket, and one half was off her shoulders, so she was like she was just like it was just like a perfect fashion statement.
That's
and
cool.
it was just so like the virus of capitalism on religion, and having taken that over, and is now just like showing that just like ugh.
And this brings us to our next segment.
Oh no.
Jesus, based or cringe?
Fuck.
I mean, if you really do take some of the lessons taken down just from the Bible, just in the same way that the like just white people approach Eastern religions, if you approach any religion from the same standpoint that we approach Buddhism and like Hinduism, and like any of like we approach it like that, like genuinely, like from that, like we're outsiders looking in at this mystical religion we don't understand, and we approach it the same way with Christianity. You see that there are actually like some values in there, like some legitimate like things that
don't
help
kill people,
right? Like it's one thing to look at religion as like dogma, the ultimate way to live your life. It's another thing to look at the Bible as a collection of the wisest people of their age writing stuff down that they realize is wise. Like that makes sense that they would pass that on, and it tends to work.
And some weirdos having an acid trip and writing it down, and everyone's just like, "That's the end of our world."
Well, shrooms probably. It'd been a lot harder.
Well, it was
to make
gas.
acid.
Like they have shown like, oh yeah, the whatever that I forget who wrote Revelations, but like, John, and it's like he was in a cave that probably had some like obnoxious like gas in there that made him.
That dude was on nitrous. He was doing whippets and writing Revelations.
Like, he probably just doing.
Oh man,
I don't know.
He was in the same cave as C.S. Lewis when he's writing the final plot. What was the name of the last Chronicles of Narnia movie?
Oh, the last one?
The Magician's
the
Apprentice.
book, not the
The Magician's Apprentice, where
What?
it's just like the Magician's. I forget Magician's Boy. I think is what it's called.
Here's Computer Guy coming.
Computer Guy finally coming in. Thank God he has a
The
computer.
Kronks of Narn.
But yeah, that book is fucking wild. I don't know how like
The Last Battle. Who could have guessed?
Last battle, but there's one before that. I think.
Remember
as well.
when
The Magician's Apprentice, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy,
Yeah, The Magician's
Prince
Apprentice
Caspian,
is the first one?
Voyage
yeah.
of the Dawn Treader, Silver Chair, Last Battle. That's 7.
The Magician's
I like
Apprentice
those
is the prequel to it that he wrote later, and then is a prequel to the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
That's true. The only one that came after that was The Last Battle.
And then the Last Battle. And I like those two. I think tied in pretty similar. I read all those books a lot as a child.
I like those books as well. I love Redwall on those.
I read 6 out of 7 of them exactly one time.
Prince
And also,
Caspian.
I played the PS2 game of Lion, the Witch, and the
PS2
Wardrobe.
game was really fun.
Yeah, that game
actually.
was
I don't
fucking
watch that.
It
dope.
slapped. We should play that on the show.
Oh yeah, that's next week, and I promise
no,
it will
it's
happen
not.
next
I'm gonna
week.
fucking cut that. I'm gonna cut that.
No, we're playing Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe next week. Are you going to pee?
I love Prince Caspian as a book, and
Prince Caspian was the first date I ever went on. Fun fact: I take you to 5th grade. Jakeb White. He's shorter. He has. Hello, Alex, who is the girl that I was in love with at the time. You want to go see Prince Caspian? Is that what you said? Okay, well, let's do it. Except my parents have to drive us because we are in 5th or 6th grade.
That's okay. I don't have a car.
Also, I am awkward as fuck, so I do not know how to talk to you.
I don't know how to do it either.
So let's go on this date,
Okay.
and then afterward, let's go to Cece's Pizza with both of our parents.
This is fun.
Okay, and then afterward, let's continue dating for an entire year without either of us saying a single word to each other for literally an entire school year.
That is fun. That's fun. Let's go about.
Okay, then let's break up with me putting a letter in your locker, then your friends getting mad at me about that, and then telling me that you broke up with me.
That's good.
Now, smash cut to 10 years later. Your voice should be a little deeper by now.
Hey, what's up?
That's good. Let's accidentally see each other a couple of times and still never talk to each other as if we have to do that for the rest of our lives.
I see you in the mall, and I see.
Oh, we actually saw each other at one of our mutual friends' weddings.
It's weird that they're getting married, and we didn't
Talk at all.
talk at all.
And that's the end of our story together until next time,
Are we
beloved.
Are we talking about Jake's love life?
This is my very, very first girlfriend.
Damn.
5th or 6th grade, elementary school.
My first girlfriend was named Isis.
That You're a fucking
I
terrorist.
forgot you dated an entire terrorist organization.
What?
It was like at the height of that thing too.
Xander's first girlfriend was Al Qaeda.
No, she was actually. pretty
My
cool.
first girlfriend was
parents fucked it
Brienne, and she was the Sooner, actually. And that's a callback.
Hey, and I does that end it?
I think so. We were at like 2 hours.
I am sorry for Colt for having to edit whatever this was.
I think it'll be okay.
No, for sure. And this was great. I really enjoyed this last 21 episodes, 21 weeks of our life.
Almost. Well, I mean, with this, it's 22 hours, give or take, that we've spent talking to each other on
Probably,
a microphone.
Probably a little bit more.
We might have hit a whole day of being friends with each other.
You're right.
Definitely over 24. Yeah,
Recorded. This is for the future. This is recorded friend time. This proves that I have friends.
And if any of the fans want to meet me, they can find me at 50 apartment 1 in Texas,
I will not be able to
78723.
find parking. I can guarantee you.
I really hope that's not your address.
It's my real address.
I'm gonna cut that.
Oh, that's a shame.
I'm not gonna let you put that out. That's insane.
You think I'm afraid of getting doxxed, Colt?
Yes.
You're afraid.
Have you heard of swatting, bro?
Oh, what's the worst they're going to do? Call the police?
Yeah, and then they're gonna show up and shoot you in the head.
And then I don't have to be alive anymore.
Okay.
It's okay. Jakeb lives at his job.
You guys,
That's true.
You
He
guys
won't be there if you show up.
you guys pretend to be depressed, but actually you like being alive. I would die in a moment. No notice. Oh, I'm so sad that I want to keep living because it'll get better.
About what depression is.
Jakeb, you wanna talk later?
If you wanted to shoot me in the head as a talk, I'll do it.
Okay. Do your plugs, Jake.
My name is Jakeb White, JAKEBWHITE. My parents are fucking idiots for spelling it that way, but you can find me on Venmo at THEJAKEB. Please send me money. That's the Jakeb. Send me money. Don't request any money because I won't pay you because I haven't got paid in a while. Send me money.
Damn.
Of course you haven't been paid.
That's not true. I got paid regularly.
He doesn't get paid regularly.
My boss is a good boss.
I know this man. He hasn't been paid. in
I can
months.
show you my pay stubs, which I'm not afraid to do because what's doxing?
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, he hasn't been paid in years.
Xander, if we get a house, there's no way our address can leak ever.
Luckily,
No,
mine has
yeah.
already been leaked for the both of you. I'm not going to say the rest. Colt will just cut it.
Yeah, I will.
Anyways, you can find me at San Francisco on Twitter and
San Francisco 69.
and make sure to listen to the incredible One of a Lifetime podcast. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm so many
Yeah, it's
whiskey
okay.
shots.
Yeah, we're pretty deep right now.
I am. Hey, Jake. Hey,
I'm Jake. You were looking
You're
at
looking
Colt when you
directly
said
in
that.
my eyes as you say, "Hey, Jake."
Hey, Jake.
Oh,
So-
wait. We can't finish the podcast yet. Colt, we played golf. How was that?
Oh fuck, we should talk about this next week. It was fun.
Yeah, talk about that. Talk about that when we're normal.
We'll talk about that next week.
Anyways, my name is San Francisco. I don't fucking care. Colt.
Hey, what's up? This is Colt. You can follow me at Colt45Joyce on Twitter, or if you want to follow me on YouTube, it's Colt Joyce.
And you can find us at OutMouseWed
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Nope, that's not it.
Yes, it is.
It
Fuck
is.
you.
It was mouse outwed, isn't it?
Yes, that's
That's
what
what
I
he- that's what he
literally
You
said.
said out mouse wed.
I said at MouseWed, you fucking idiot.
So it's not mouse outwed. You said out mouse
I
or
said
at
at-
mouse mouse.
yeah, I said at-
So it's mouse wed.
Follow the show at Out.
this motherfucker.
You're gonna hear the recording and then you're gonna feel like you're stupid instead of me.
Follow the
No,
show
you're the
at
fucking stupid
Mouse-
one.
Okay,
Mouse
one of us is
Wed.
stupid, and it is
You.
you. It's
Follow
you.
the
For sure, it's
show
you. You're
at-
the dumb one.
You're the
Oh, except you're the dumb one.
You're the
Only
dumb
one of us can be dumb, and
You're
unfortunately,
fucking
you've been the
stupid.
dumbest one
Out.
already.
I fucking hate your guts.
Well, if you're so
Twitter.
dumb,
This
is
then
what
why
I-
don't you just
There's
keep
no-
being
I'm
dumb?
finally gonna
Oh
tell
yeah,
you
I
something.
think I
I'm
know
finally
what you
gonna tell you how I
said. You said
really
it's the
feel.
dumbest
You're
thing.
the
You're
stupidest
dumb.
person
You're a
I've
dumb
ever
man.
met.
You're a dumb, and
I hate
I've
your
always
guts.
hated
I
you.
think you're the
I've
worst
always
person
hated you, you
to
dumb
ever-
man.
to have ever-
My
I
address
think we're
is
gonna keep going the show for a long time, so, I hate
951-684.
what's
I don't
gonna
think you're a
happen
fucking
in the
And I
long
hate
term.
your
I really like these
being
guys,
wrong.
Oh,
so
you
we'll see what
guys are-
happens.
oh,
Oh, he's
you guys
unplugging
are-
the shit. Okay, that's the end of the episode.